Hi, my name is Rachel Cromer. I'm the Director of Nursing Education for the Adult Hospital. But back in 2008, I was a nurse resident, and I was in the first class of nurse residents that we had in the adult hospital. I remember in my first year, I got involved in precepting right away and just really loved it and thrived there. So I took every opportunity I could to spend time with newer nurse residents and with nursing students. I also got involved in the pressure injury quarterly rounds and was really pleased to get to take some additional education to learn more about pressure injuries and then to go do turns all over the hospital and to check out our patients for their pressure injuries. Over time, I also volunteered to be a competency champion for the unit. I joined the Nursing Staff Council, was a relief charge nurse, and then eventually got the opportunity to be the educator with CSL for a year until I moved into my current role now.
I'm Brett Young. I'm a nurse manager for the Hospital at Home unit. I was a summer 2012 nurse resident. The first year working nights, I got involved in some quality improvement work around falls prevention. It was pretty exciting and a good way to kind of contribute to the unit. And from there, really in like the second year, I got more involved with our unit board and eventually chaired that unit board. With that exposure, I got a little more interest in hospital-wide initiatives. And so I joined the Nursing Staff Council and chaired that committee or that council for 3 years. And from there, I've really got interested in nursing leadership. So I became a clinical staff leader and eventually got my master's degree at Vanderbilt University, and I've been a nurse manager since then.
Hi, my name's Chandler. I started in the nurse residency program in 2018 in the NICU. Thing I remember most from my first year is that was the first time I had ever seen a 23-week patient. I got to hold a 23-weeker for the first time. It was literally like as big as my hand. So that was huge for me, and I ended up actually signing up as a primary on this patient. Had it for 7 months, and then he was able to go home. So that was just the most awesome thing for my first year. Got to bond with that family, really got to know them and got to prepare them for home. And he's 5 years old now, so that's a big jump. But I'm a clinical staff leader now. I started that in 2022. I was a charge nurse before that. So.
Hi, my name is Jasmine Harrell, and I started within the nurse residency program in 2018. Within the nurse residency program, I was given the opportunity to serve on my unit as a preceptor and leader. I was able to help new nurses grow within their own practice, along with in my own practice as well too. Since 2018, I have been given several leadership opportunities within the adult emergency CPON. I have been a charge nurse. I currently serve as the Quality Improvement Analyst, RN. Within that specific role, I developed a pressure injury documentation for all nurses to use within the adult emergency CPON. And I currently serve as a forensic nurse and an academic nurse educator as well too.
Hey, my name is Abby. I started the residency program back in July of 2018. During my first year in nursing, one of the things I did to make a difference on my unit was join our pressure injury prevention committee. Through that committee, I was able to not only impact our patient population and helping to prevent them from getting their pressure injuries and educating them about moving in the beds, but also educating our other staff members and implementing a dual nurse skin assessment to help make sure we are getting all eyes on the body. Since that time, I have now progressed as an RN4. I precepted after my first year. I charge nursed. I became an RN3, did interim CSL.
Hi, I'm Jamie Jones-Weiner, and I was a nurse resident in July of 2020 in the PICU. It's an interesting time to be a nurse resident. At around the 6-month mark, I was approached by a unit manager and asked to consider becoming a unit board co-chair. Because of COVID, unit board had fallen by the wayside, and so we had to reestablish unit board. I became a co-chair. We were able to get unit board back up and running, And after about a year, I left the PICU. I went to travel for a while, and now I'm back as a clinical education facilitator in the nursing education department.
Hello, my name is Matthew White. I went through the residency of July 2020. I started charging in my first year, and it was a little intimidating, but I found knowing your resources is the best thing to do. You don't have to know everything, just who to find when you need to know something.
Hi, my name is Dylan Stacy. I am a graduate from the nurse residency program. I started in 2023. During my time as a nurse resident, I was in the ambulatory care setting where I increased the throughput through our clinic by 100 patients per week. And by doing that, we were able to increase our access to care to patients and provide timely care in an orderly fashion. And also by doing that, we increased patient satisfaction and provider satisfaction as well. Since then, I have been promoted to a program manager within our episodes of care team division here at Vanderbilt, and I am now a division leader for our clinical performance team.
I would say if I have any advice for you all as you're in your first year of being a professional nurse here at VUMC, I can remember being about 6 months in and sitting in my car and having to steel myself to walk in because I was just so worn down. And I want you to know that that's normal, and really try to find those things that bring you joy in your work. Reach out to your manager and say, hey, put me in. I don't know where you need me, but I'm open. And I really think that trying out different things over time led me to find real joy in my work, and I was able to grow that work as a preceptor into being an educator and now into being a director. Thank you very much and good luck.
Being a nurse resident, you can do big things, you can achieve big things, you can lead others even though you're young, you're new. You do bring your own experiences to the table, and your life experience, although it's not nursing experience, does play a factor. So it helps you relate to families, it helps you relate to patients, and it molds who you are as a nurse and a person. So always carry that with you, and carry all of your experiences with you, and remember where you started, and don't forget that, where you came from.
One piece of advice that I would like to give you all as new nurse residents is to compassionately advocate for your patients and yourself every day. As a new nurse graduate, it's kind of hard. It's going to be, challenging at times, but I encourage you to say yes and to learn and grow and develop within your own nursing practice.
I recommend just building great relationships with your management and seeing, what avenues they can help lead you towards and working with them to make a difference.
If there's any advice I could give you as a nurse resident, it is to get involved in some type of committee on your unit. You're going to learn a lot more about your own nursing practice. You're going to learn about yourself. You're going to learn about Vanderbilt as an organization, and you're going to make friendships and relationships that are going to carry you to the next part of your career.
Best advice I could give you is open lines of communication with your leadership. If they don't know a problem is going on, they can't help you fix it.
So advice that I would give to our nurse residents would be get involved with leadership. With us having new perspectives coming into the nurse residency program, it's always good to have fresh eyes on workflows and situations, and so being able to share those opportunities and experiences that you've encountered so far is really valuable for leadership to know and to make continuous change throughout Vanderbilt.